In the day's other news, newly released documents highlight the pressure former President Trump put on the U.S. Justice Department as he was trying to overturn the results of the 2020 election. A congressional committee released notes made by Richard Donoghue, a senior justice official, during a December phone call. He quoted Mr. Trump as saying, "Just say the election was corrupt. Leave the rest to me and the Republican congressman." At that point, the department had already said it found no evidence of widespread election fraud. On a second front, the U.S. Justice Department directed the Treasury Department today to hand over Mr. Trump's tax returns to Congress. At issue is whether he complied with tax law. The Treasury had refused to hand over the returns during the Trump administration. Democratic leaders in Congress sought today to extend a nationwide ban on evictions. The U.S. Supreme Court has indicated only Congress may keep the ban from expiring tomorrow night. In the meantime, Speaker of the House Nancy Pelosi appealed to the CDC to take emergency action.
We would like the CDC to expand the moratorium. That's where it can be done. And then, and of course, with the public message of governors, mayors, et cetera, give the money for its purpose to the renters.
Congress approved $47 billion months ago to aid renters and landlords. But lawmakers say states have been slow to disperse the money, and only $3 billion has gone out so far. The Biden administration sued the state of Texas today for trying to bar the transportation of unsanctioned migrants. Republican Governor Greg Abbott has targeted private groups that drive migrants to shelters or other destinations. He says he's taking a pandemic control measure. The U.S. Justice Department says the state is illegally interfering with immigration policy. In the Philippines, President Rodrigo Duterte reversed himself today and restored a major military pact with the U.S. It means that the two nations will continue holding joint combat exercises in a counter to China's growing power. The decision followed a visit by U.S. Defense Secretary Lloyd Austin. Officials gave no reason for the policy switch. Japan has expanded a state of emergency to more of the country as COVID-19 infections surge. That move today came amid the ongoing Summer Olympics in Tokyo. The head of the government's COVID task force warned the situation is dire.
Following today's decision on the state of emergency, I think we are facing the most serious crisis. How the Japanese people and the entire society tackle it is the key to the future.
In the Olympic competition, the U.S. women's soccer team faced elimination today. In the end, they beat the Netherlands on penalty kicks to move to the semifinals. In bicycle motocross racing, American Connor Field, the defending gold medalist, suffered a violent crash and missed the finals. He is hospitalized in stable condition. Back in this country, new heat waves are roasting the Pacific Northwest and the Southeast. Going into the weekend, more than 60 million Americans are under heat advisories. Temperatures are expected to top 100 degrees in parts of Idaho and Washington state. In U.S. economic news, a key inflation index jumped in June by the most since 1991. The indicator used by the Federal Reserve was up 3.5% from a year earlier. Meanwhile, Wall Street was mostly lower today. The Dow Jones Industrial Average lost 149 points to close at 34,935. The Nasdaq fell 105 points. The S&P 500 shed nearly 24. And two passings of note. Former Michigan Senator Carl Levin died Thursday of lung cancer. Over 36 years, the veteran Democrat became an influential voice on military issues. He voted against sending troops to Iraq in 2002. And years later, he argued the invasion failed to stop terrorism.
What has changed now is that there is a global terrorist network now, which is much more threatening to us than it was 5 or 10 or 15 years ago. And so the possibility that weapons would be transferred to a terrorist group now with a global reach is a very different and more threatening situation to us than it was before.
Carl Levin was 87 years old. And Richard Dick Lamb, a longtime Democratic governor of Colorado, passed away overnight. He served 3 terms, pushed through an early abortion rights law, and fought against his state's hosting the 1976 Winter Olympics, warning of economic and environmental damage. Dick Lamb was 85 years old. Still to come on the NewsHour, the Chinese government closes the border of Hong Kong in the latest crackdown. David Brooks and E.J. Dionne consider the politics of the pandemic. A Pulitzer Prize winner explores McDonald's role in Black American life, plus much more.
This is the PBS NewsHour from WETA Studios in Washington and in the West from the Walter Cronkite School of Journalism at Arizona State University.